Hey everyone, Trevor at Toploaded Gaming. Today we're going to be talking about Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
Oh, the camera's on.
I had very high hopes for this project. I mean, we're talking about a sequel to one of the very games that thrust me into the rabbit hole of collecting in the first place. Symphony of the Night, in case that wasn't obvious enough. So after spending over 120 hours in my first playthrough, I can definitively say Ritual of the Night far exceeded my hopes. This game is a masterpiece. Eiga has perfected his craft at creating these huge maps without making you feel like you were doing chores while getting the next ability or unlocking the next area. There are also a lot of throwbacks, but they all felt like inside jokes or things that fans would appreciate. This game, even without the Konami banner, serves as the best sequel to Symphony of the Night we could ask for. Aside from just being able to play as Alucard himself, but I don't think that's possible. And I'm not even sure how he got away with some of this. In this game, you are Miriam, a shard binder. She is on a mission to stop Jeeble from unleashing hell on all of England. So you run around killing enemies, and sometimes they drop shards, which in turn gives you certain abilities based on that shard. In addition, the shards have ranks and grades. You can up your rank by getting ingredients to enhance them all the way to rank 9 for the most powerful effect. As for grades, you just need to get more of the same shard until you have 9 of them for the most powerful effect grade-wise. There are a lot of enemies, so there are a lot of shards to find and enhance to see what they do fully upgraded. There are so many weapons to craft, find, purchase. Even with my insane first playthrough, I didn't find or craft them all. If you are a fan of the other Metroidvania style Castlevania games, this purchase is a no-brainer. However, I am still hearing that the Switch version has issues. So that is something to consider for now. So as we continue, we're going to get into spoiler territory, so this is your one and only warning. There are so many things to discover. I am convinced I have not found them all. Take for example Celeste's room. There has to be some other secret aside from the ghost sitting across from you. Like turning the music boxes on in a certain order at the right moment. Something. Or how about this? Did you know that you can play the piano? Okay, that part's obvious. But did you know if you have the fairy familiar, she will sit on the piano and sing?
Then the morning comes, shadowed by the moon, and the angels for whom you speak cry for light, cry for all of us, shards of hope gathered in the name of the meek.
Or if you pull the book out, it'll position itself as if it's sheet music for you. This is why I say I'm convinced not all of the Easter eggs have been found yet. After playing the game, I only had a couple things that tripped me up. I couldn't find all the shortcuts. So shortcuts are essentially loadouts. Let's say you want a loadout which is made for strictly attacking. Now let's say you want another loadout once you get the unicorn rings that makes your healing potions better so you can hurry up and heal in a boss battle. Or let's say you want a quick loadout so you can have the most luck stack so you can farm a certain shard or item drop. These loadouts will give you quick access to different strategies without having to spend 10 or more minutes equipping things over and over. These shortcuts are an awesome addition to the game. Their implementation felt so natural, I'm worried I will miss them in future playthroughs of Symphony of the Night. Now that I've explained them, I couldn't find what I needed to unlock the rest of them. I also couldn't find the 4 remaining shards for the Silver Knight familiar. I spent countless hours searching for both of these. Finally, I gave in and looked online And as it turns out, you get the rest of them in New Game Plus playthroughs. The other thing was, I accidentally spoiled for myself that there was an OD fight. Now, OD is essentially Alucard, so I was hoping there would be a fight or team up or something. But after spoiling it, I couldn't figure out how to trigger it. So I had to look that up. Oh well, I didn't want to complete the game without doing it. I wasn't sure if you earned something. I was hoping maybe it would let you take out more books or something. Turns out you have to equip a certain book and go to a certain place, and he is there waiting for you. And you fight. The place, I will say, is kind of obvious because it's essentially the same type of room you fight the Alucard doppelganger in Symphony of the Night. But knowing the book I needed to have equipped, I couldn't figure it out. But once you beat him, it gives you all the books and a very powerful time stop shard. This time shard is game-breakingly powerful. After getting the real ending, I have to say I'm so happy with how this game came out. One weird thing about the storyline though, at the end, Miriam and Johannes are talking about everyone that died for them to succeed. And Zangetsu walks up as they are walking away, but all you can see is a shadow. And it's very hard to notice. You can hear his footsteps, and it's kind of weird. But if you can play in 21:9 aspect ratio, essentially ultra wide, you can actually see Zangetsu in the shot. And I'm just left to wonder, like, whose decision was this? It's kind of weird. Like, how did that come about? That's what I want to know.
What the fuck?
Another thing I wanted to mention was the Revenant. Some people disagree with who the Revenant is supposed to be. Some people say it is Richter. Other people say it's Simon. I think it should be Richter chronologically, simply because of the timing. I mean, it should go Rondo of Blood, then absolutely Symphony of the Night is a sequel of sorts to Rondo, so then it should be Ritual of the Night after, which would imply it's Richter. Well, at least, in spirit it's supposed to be a sequel, so that's why I say Richter. But maybe legally he had to make Richter a little different. I don't know. I guess I'll pass the question off to you. Who do you think it's meant to be? But at the same time, I mean, OD looks quite a bit like Alucard, so... As far as the music goes, I love it. Sure, the Konami hits are missing, and that is unfortunate, but that is Konami's loss.
His loss, your gain, sugar.
These feel like welcome additions to those timeless tracks. Michiru Yamane, I know I'm butchering that, but did an incredible job with the music. Keep in mind, they had to start from scratch. No nostalgic tracks, none of it could be used, yet I think she fucking nailed it. As far as the graphics, I wish it had more of a pixelated look, more on par with Symphony of the Night, just a bit updated. But honestly, I was too busy with the gameplay to be really bothered by it. And at the end of the day, it's just my personal preference. It's not like everyone feels that way. The only issues I had while playing the game, and I will admit by the end, once you get the accelerator shard, starts to become increasingly noticeable and irritating. There are too many spots that have to load. In all the other games, that doesn't really happen unless you are entering and exiting a transition room. So maybe in future patches they'll have that sorted out. I'm hoping. It is an issue, to be fair, but it is something that you can absolutely live with. In closing, I would recommend this game to anyone that likes these type of games. And on top of that, if you've never tried a Metroidvania style of game but you enjoy 2D games, give this one a shot. Once you get the concept, you'll love it. And I would even go as far as saying this is just as good as Symphony of the Night. Yeah, I said it. Do something. But anyways, that's gonna do it for me. Well, until next time, this is Trevor at Toploaded fucking Gaming.